Okay, so the range sensor is used to detect proximity. So what I have in the scene is there's this blue box and there's this red box, and I'm going to move the red box back and forth. As you move the red box, it's going to detect its distance from the blue box. So the sensor is on top of the red box. So we'll basically use range sensor. We'll attach it to the XML. I'll show you how to add noise if you want to, and then I'll show you how to add a cutoff frequency. So it will not detect it will not measure the distance if it is far away from the blue box or the red box. And then I'll show you how to filter this. And this will just be an exponential filter, fairly easy to code. Okay, so let's get started with this. I already have created a file called block with range. So let's see how that works. Let me just copy this. Let's rename this to MJ range. Open it here. Let's open the block with range. We don't need the gripper. So let's open block with range. Run this. So it'll be two boxes, a red and a blue box. And my goal is to put the sensor first and then move it. So now I'm going to show you how to actually add the sensor. So for that, you need to create a site. So the box on the right, which is at 0.1, the red box, I'm going to create a site. Site name equal to range site. We'll put it at a position. So we need to put it on the left face of the block. So it's going to be along the negative x. So that's on the left face, which is closest to the blue box, 0. And what else do we need? I'm going to put a RGBA equals some colors. Let's just put 0.9. So green color, 1, and then put a size equal to 0.01. Yes, let's see how this works. I think we cannot see this view though. Let's see. Yes, it's over here. You can see the. Okay, so we got that. Now let's actually go ahead and add the sensor. So we create the sensor tag, close the sensor tag. This is going to be, so the way you define this, and this is in the XML, is you call it rangefinder. We give it a name. Let's call it range sensor. We attach it to a site, so range site, and close this. So we'll just use a similar approach as before. We'll use the controller here. Okay, let's comment this out and add the controller here. Okay, so we only work with the controller code here. Okay, so first thing is, I'm just going to see what it reads. So the way you read this data is you say range. So this is the sensor reading. I use a sensor variable like we've used before. So that would be data.sensor. The name we gave it was range sensor, and then say data, and then we say print range. Okay, so this should, it's printing -1, which means it did not detect anything. That is weird because it doesn't even show the yellow rendering, which I thought would show the moment I turn this on. Yeah. See if that works. No. see if we can figure this out here. Okay, is there sensor data? Let's see the sensor axis. Yeah, that might be the way to debug this. So let's go to rendering, frame. Can we get a frame for sensor? No. For the site. Yeah, I think it points always in this direction. So it's usually in the Z. You can check the document. It's either in the plus Z or minus Z. I suspect it's in minus Z. So in this case, we'll have to rotate it by 90 degrees about, so let's see, if you noted about 90 degrees about the plus y-axis, then this will face, so maybe plus 90 will work. Let's try it out.
Okay.
Cool.
I just checked documentation. It says that it's defined by the positive z-axis.
Positive z, okay. So,
yeah.
So we need to turn it by negative 90. So when you turn by negative 90, this blue would be facing the, so let's just do that and then we can quickly verify that. Okay, there it is. There you see it. Okay, perfect. Okay, so it's fine now. Let's move it back. Let's run this. It's actually giving 0.3. Okay, if you're in business. So it's moving, it's there, it's reading 0.3. Let's see if it can actually give you the range. I'm just going to set up an actuator here so it moves in the X direction. So this is something which, you know what, I can speed this up by copying from, well, I'll copy from my file, or I can take the Z-axis and copy from that. But let's just maybe copy from my code. Okay, so the joint is X sliding, so it's going to move in the X direction. I need to give a mask because otherwise it will not be able to move. And then I need to set the actuator. So let's set the actuator. This is going to be a, here, let me put this here. Okay, this is going to be a torque actuator. Okay, and once I have this, let me move it in the controller. So let's, in the controller, I'm going to set up a PD controller, data.ctrl0 equals minus 10 times data.qpos0. So that's the position, which is the first variable. I just copy from a note. So it's actually at the position it is at is 0, but I wanted to go, I want to set up a spring basically at 0.2. So it goes back and forth. It's right now set at 0, 0. And I want it to go towards, so I'm pulling it to the right, basically. So this is, the blue box is at minus 0.5. I'm setting a spring with 0.2, which is to the right of the red box, and then just letting it go. So let's put 0.01 data.q0. So PD controller. And then just run this. So you can see that the distance is actually changing as it's moving back and forth. Okay, if you want to put a cutoff, so you can see the distance is 0.69, and we know it was 0.3. So if you want to cut it off, what you can do is you can put in here cutoff equals let's say 4. So when you do that, you'll see that it actually will not measure beyond 0.4. So you see, it will not give any, it's just 0.4, clipped at 0.4 when it goes away. Okay, so that's the cutoff. Let's close this. Let's just make a huge cutoff here, so it just isn't a problem. Let me make a plot that will actually help us to put noise. So let's, what the fast way? Actually, let me put this. Let me put some noise right away. So the way you put noise is just put noise equals, I'm just making some number 0.2. Okay. Now we'll go ahead and add noise. So the way you'll add noise to this is you do it yourself. That is, there's no noise there. So that noise variable is just something which MuJoCo has set up so that you can use it. You don't really need, it's not right, it's going to magically create noise for you. So you need to use NumPy variables to create noise. So I'm going to add some noise. So range noisy. The way the noise is added is through this random normal distribution. I give it the mean value, which is range, and then I give it, I need to get the sigma, which is the value for the standard deviation, which I defined earlier, the noise value. So to get that sigma, I go model.sensor range sensor dot noise. So this is getting the noise 0.2. It puts in here, and then this is going to be a noisy value. Now, if I want to see this, I need to do some work to plot this, but it's not going to be obvious what this noise is. So I'm going to do some work to get these things. I'm going to make a plot as a function of time. Let me just speed this up a little bit by copying my code. So I'm just going to create these variables. Okay, just to save data. Okay, so I'm saving time. I'm sending the range. So the range, remember, is a NP array. So I get the 0th value, range noisy all. Now I'm going to make a plot. It's all ready here. Okay, I'm going to, there's one value which I've not defined. Comment that out. And then I need to import matplotlib. So import matplotlib as plt. Okay, and then let's run this for 5 seconds, is fine. So it runs a few times, stops, and then matplotlib, sorry, my bad, pyplot. Let's run this now. Okay, so it runs back and forth. What we will do now is we'll make a plot. And so you can see that the red is the true value and the blue is the noisy value. The final thing I'll do is I'll show you a very simple filter to remove this, called an exponential moving average filter. Okay, and then we'll stop. So the moving filter is also called exponential smoothing. All you do is you take you have a constant alpha, you sort of use the previous stored value, which is an xt, and you only update the new value based on some fraction of the previous value, which is alpha xt, and then 1 minus alpha, the new value. So that basically makes it smooth. So let's program this. It shouldn't take me much time. And also save this as range filter all. Okay. So for that, I need to create a variable called range filter, which I will use. This is a value I need because this has some memory. If you see this formula, it has memory. It needs to save the value, previous value. So I'll initialize it to 0. Okay, so now that I have this, so let's define alpha equals, usually you take a small value of alpha. I'll take a value of 0.1. Here, range filter equals 1 minus alpha times range filter. So that's alpha times xt. Sorry, I should let me just do it correctly here. So per this formula, it should be alpha times, so 1 minus alpha times the current value. So 1 minus alpha times the current value. So that will be range noisy plus alpha times range filter. This is the saved value. Okay, so I need to save this so I can plot it. Range filter all dot append range filter. Range, this looks fine to me. Yeah. So, and then I'll just go here and then plot it. Okay, so it's plotting the black color, and it also has a label. Range filter reference before assignment. I think I need to make it a global variable. That's what is missing. So let's make it a global variable because it's updated. Okay, so it's really a mess. So the black and the blue are on top of each other. So it's not really filtered here, but we can control this noise, this value. I think a 9 would make a huge difference. So that is like almost not filtered, but here you see that the black now is more in line with the red. Okay, now if you increase this value to 0.99, which is saying that you're going to use 0.9 of the filtered value and very little from the new measurements, you'll see that it actually is filtered out, but there will be a huge time delay. So you can see that the black is delayed, but it's very smooth. So you don't want this either because now your measurements are going to be delayed. Okay, so let's put it back to 0.99, which looks like a good value. And I'm pretty much done with sensors. Okay, so